Weddings in India are not just an occasion to celebrate the coming together of two individuals. It is the coming together of two families amidst great fanfare. India is a country where one can find a multitude of cultures and rituals. All 29 states and 7 union territories of India have their own distinct traditions and rituals when it comes to weddings. West Bengal is one such state situated in the eastern part of India. Today, we take a look at a traditional Bengali wedding. Weddings in Bengal are an elaborate affair. Bengali Hindu weddings can be divided into two different segments of rituals, Ghoti and Bangal. The wedding comprises of both pre-wedding and post-wedding rituals. Each ritual has its own significance and meaning. The wedding starts with the ritual of Ashirbad, or the ceremony of blessings. The bride's family visits the groom's home and vice versa, with gifts like clothes, cosmetics and special food items like sweets, fruits and the ever-present fish, which has a special place of its own in traditional Bengali cuisine. Parents and relatives of the bride and the groom wish them a happy married life. Both the families exchange gifts, which are called totto in Bengali. Family members and friends celebrate the occasion by dancing and dining with each other. The next ritual is the Narayan Puja. This ceremonial worship of Lord Narayan or Vishnu is held the day before the wedding. The bride and groom seek the blessings of Lord Vishnu before proceeding toward their marital life. The night before the wedding, the ritual of Gaye Holud, or the ceremony of turmeric application, is carried out. Married women from both the groom and the bride's family go to the closest water body to collect water for this ritual. The women carry the water in a traditional vessel known as kolshi to a nearby temple where the priest blesses the water. Turmeric is considered holy by Hindus and it is also extremely good for the skin. Hence, a paste of holud or turmeric mixed with sandalwood paste is applied on the bride's and the groom's face and body on this day. After the paste has been applied, the bride and the groom are bathed with the water which has been fetched and blessed earlier. The night of the wedding finally arrives. Before the groom leaves his house to marry his bride and bring her back with him, he sits on the lap of his mother to seek her blessings and permission to go ahead. The groom has to wear the traditional decorative headgear known as topur, which is brought by the relatives of the bride. The groom leaves for the bride's house along with his relatives. On reaching the bride's place, the mother of the bride welcomes the groom by performing an aarti known as boron. The groom is then offered sweets and welcomed inside. He sits for the wedding rituals before the holy Havan fire. The bride takes 7 rounds around the groom before sitting beside him. The next ritual is that of Shobhodrishti. Here the bride and the groom see each other for the first time in the entire night. The ritual of Mala Bodul follows this, and the bride and groom exchange bor mala or flower garlands. The bride is given away to the groom in a ritual performed by the father of the bride. This is the ritual of Shampradan. The next day, the post-wedding ceremonies take place. These ceremonies are called Bashi Biye or the after-wedding rituals. The newly-wed couple together pour khoi or a special variety of puffed paddy into the holy fire amid chanting by the priest. In this ritual, the groom applies vermilion powder to the forehead of the bride, claiming her for the rest of her life. The bride and the groom take 7 rounds of the fire, promising to spend their entire lives together. And both of them sit for another round of puja or prayers. After all the post-wedding rituals are over, the newly-wed couple leaves for the groom's house. This ritual of the bride's parting from her old life and her maiden home is called Bidai. The day when the newlywed couple reaches their new home, the groom's mother welcomes them. She makes both of them sit on her lap, welcoming her daughter-in-law into the family. The bride then receives blessings and gifts from her in-laws. The next day, the newly-wed couple observes the ritual of Bhav. During Bhav, the bride makes her first meal for her new family. She herself serves her in-laws with the food she prepares and also feeds her younger brothers and sisters-in-law with her own hands. She touches the feet of her husband and seeks his blessings. After which, the groom again applies vermilion to her forehead. With this, an eventful ritualistic Bengali wedding comes to an end, leaving two families united forever. All these people coming together for uniting two souls, celebrating in their happiness and the traditional rituals leaves us pondering upon the fact that marriages are truly made in heaven.